All right. What is up, YouTube? I'm Cordy here. So, we are on the throne of Megatens, or Legendary Collection, whatever the hell this is this year. And I didn't want to make another video tonight, but we have policy docs to talk about. Half of this community is fucking pissed off at the shit that is going on right now, and it is my responsibility to bash on it. So, let's dig on into this discussion, shall we? Haha! I decided that sitting on the throne was a little bit too much of a pain in the ass. So, policy documents came out today, and things don't work the way that they used to anymore. And this has upset a lot of people, and that's pretty much a really shitty fucking thing, because, well, when your player base is fucking angry at you, there's gonna be an issue. So, here's what's going on. We can no longer verify a certain situation if X card has been added to the hand. So, here was the big thing, alright? So, used to be able to play Mind Crush, go, alright, cool, Mind Crush this. Oh, you don't have Engage in your hand? Reveal your hand to me, please, so I can verify. Alright, cool, opponent reveals their hand. I read a couple of cards, which, was totally fair at the time. I will let you all know that was cool. But now, we can no longer verify. We used to be able to also call over a judge to verify if there was a situation at hand, but that is not the thing anymore. So, what does this mean? Well, under new policy doc, we are allowed to only call a judge in a situation that we feel they are cheating. Now, this would technically include something along the lines of, okay, you know, I Mind Crush, they don't discard Engage that I called. Alright, cool. So, we skip ahead later in the turn, they don't draw any cards, they play Engage from their hand, and you're like, sir, you're a dirty ass cheater. And you know, your opponent's probably like, yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So, we come to this impasse. Now, it's a different situation that if, under normal game theory here, my opponent dualities for Effect Veiler, adds it to their hand. 4 turns go by. I don't know what game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You're playing where 4 turns go by, but the Effect Veiler hasn't been seen since that duality was resolved. So, you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to go ahead and Mind Crush that Effect Veiler. Once again, I don't know what game of Yu-Gi-Oh! These guys are playing that this has gone on this long, but they're like, no, I don't have an Effect Veiler. And you're like, what the fuck do you mean you don't have a Veiler? And you're like, I saw you grab it off the duality. So, in a situation like that, that is also definitely going to raise, you know, an eyebrow. And you're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, why are you trying to cheat me like that? So, in terms of where game knowledge shows you a means to have a different opinion, then that is fine, alright? Like, we understand you're going to be able to use that and be like, oh yeah, this was used in this situation, you know, I guarantee that they had it at this point. Where the fuck the Veiler go, though? So, there's that. That's all fine and dandy. Alright. Now, point number 2. Searching the opponent's deck to verify things. So, the old thing here was opponent, I love how they use Mystic Tomato, it's the best example ever. Even new school players will be like, what the fuck's Mystic Tomato? Well, it's the old battle recruiter. So, we end up ramming Mystic Tomato into something, kill over it, your opponent doesn't use the search, or they use the search effect, like, ugh, they search their deck, like, no valid targets. Well, that leads me to my next question of, where the fuck your targets go, though? If you don't have a verifiable target, you used to be able to look at your opponent's deck and be like, hey, there's no target here, right? Right? Like, that's how that worked. Under new policy docs, you can no longer look at your opponent's deck. Why does this fucking exist? This is the fucking reason why players are angry at the game right now. Players can no longer verify the contents of their opponent's deck. Now, I understand the theory of your opponent should always have the best intentions for you. Your opponent should not be looking to cheat. Now, the big other thing from this was the whole be C thing, where, you know, you'd be like, oh, cool, C chain link 1, chain link 2B, you know, you grab your piece and you could special summon it. I used to be able to ask you if you could verifiably tell me if you had another piece of the Dragon Buster in your hand. Well, it's not anymore that way. Now, obviously, you can't do that if your opponent has no fucking cards in hand. Alright, like, you can't construct the chain link that way because that's just purely illegal. But, like I said, for policy doc's sake, if we are under the intention here that if everybody plays a nice, fair, equal game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, then, okay, cool, the policy update's fine. One other big thing that this changed, and this is what I like, and this is what I'm making an argument for. I can by not giving my opponent my deck now to be able to verify things, tech choices are sealed off. My opponent will no longer get to know my ratios. Especially if it's a game 2, they can see where I sided in. So that's a very, very good thing. I'm more pleased about that than I really should be. Because, you know, part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the deck building process. Now, other video games and older things like that, we were able to verify, and that's why it was good. Like, you could go through and be like, oh, hey, extra knowledge. Like, oh, you're playing X copies of this, and you'd be like, oh, I know what to side against you now. Like, things like that. It's hit or miss, and I understand that. It's mostly miss. But, you know, there's a silver lining to every fucking thing that gets a chance to come out. So, okay. So, we get to maintain player integrity now. And it's lovely because, you know, they always give the speech at the beginning of the regional that you shouldn't trust your opponent. They don't have the best intentions for you. And this literally encourages more cheating than ever before. Okay, so there's that. And then to top things off, you know, you've got the player base expected to maintain proper etiquette, which is already a bad thing. I know there's a big giant thing on the judge group right now going on about this, with players being asked, or asking questions to verify things to make sure that the things are going on. And with the way that the policy docs were right now, it's just a giant mess. Now, this hygiene thing, oh, thank God. Oh, asking players to leave the event if they smell like actual shit, by the way. Ah, about fucking time. Now, I'm just a naturally sweaty boy. There's nothing I can do about that, but, you know, like, I don't smell like shit. Like, there's a difference. Like, I know something else that was brought up under this question was the smell of weed, and being asked to leave because of that. I think that was an interesting question. I think it mainly encompasses that obviously you shouldn't even be using weed and stuff on the premise of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event. I think something else interesting, now, looking at my phone for notes here, the holographic sleeves thing. There were 2 players that had seizures over holographic fronts on sleeves. Now, that's interesting to me in and in itself, because I honestly didn't expect that to happen. Alright, like, you put holographic fronts on sleeves, nobody fucking expected that to happen. And 2 people ended up having seizures over it. Good job, Imperium. You guys designed sleeves that could actually kill people. Proud of you. Didn't expect that. So, now, in short, Konami, you're not going to change this. Alright, this is going to be like the time rules. We're going to have to endure. Alright? So here's the biggest thing I can tell you as a player. Alright? We get big changes like this every blue moon in the game. We either go with it or you quit. I don't think this is a quitting situation. It just means that cards like Mind Crush, they're not as good anymore. Remember, your opponent doesn't always have the best intentions for you. Hell, I don't think anybody in the room has as good intentions for you as you do yourself. If ABCs get 2% better off of this because more people are quote-unquote cheating to make the deck good, okay, fine, let that be. But outside of that, you know, that's all I really got for this video. So, don't be mad at the rules, just deal with them. I understand that Advantage, Mind Crush, people are upset about it. I get it, alright? I'm not going to be the first to tell you that it sucks. That's fine. But, there's a silver lining to everything, right? More people gonna get banned, so it's less players in the game that are actually cheaters, right? right? That's how that works. But please voice your concerns down below in the comment section. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. If you are a judge, I know some people don't agree with this, but buckle up, buckaroo. There's going to be a lot more DQs coming that way. Peace out, guys. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.